Inside PressBox is presented by Freedmont Mortgage. Don't make a 30-year mistake by choosing the wrong lender. Go to Freedmont.com now for all of your mortgage needs. And welcome back to Inside PressBox. We all know there can be a lot of fun and excitement in gambling, but for some, getting that rush from a big win can become a problem and in some cases addictive. This is especially true for competitive athletes. My next guest, Lesa Densmore, explains. Okay, we are in the lobby of the Crown Plaza Hotel in the heart of Timonium, which is the site of this year's Powered by Me conference. Mike Gimbel has been with us on the show many times. One of the speakers at this year's event and a keynoter is Lesa Densmore. And Lesa, you have a very unique problem of addiction that you've been dealing with for a long time, and that is gambling addiction. Tell our audience a little bit about it.
Well, I'm a recovering gambling addict at this point in time, and I started gambling in my youth when I was a teenager, and it progressed to major problem gambling in my 20s, and then to full-blown gambling addiction in my late 20s, early 30s, which ended in a near-suicide attempt about 3.5 years ago.
Now, you told me something that I really found kind of contrary to what I believed, is that gambling addiction is a highly feminine thing. I did not know that.
It is highly feminine. I mean, addiction in general doesn't discriminate. And I think with gambling, I think it's more recognized that it's a man's addiction. It is a silent killer. I don't think men and women in general don't speak about it, but women in particularly, it's a growing problem. It's a growing problem for women. It's a growing problem for our youth and our student athletes as well.
Now, that's one of the reasons you speak at this conference, Powered by Me. There's going to be 600 to 650 kids who are student athletes, which is what you were at one time, because you were a Division I, not lacrosse, field hockey player.
Yes, I was an all-star athlete in high school, 3-star sport athlete, field hockey, basketball, and softball. I had a full athletic scholarship to the University of Maine, where I played Division I field hockey. And one of the reasons why I'm here is to speak with the student athletes about the risks that they have as competitive athletes. It needs to be understood that the win-loss dynamic of sport and the win-loss dynamic of gambling is something that competitors can tend to latch onto, which is something I did. I became very competitive with gambling. It was something that I treated as a game of skill rather than it being a game of chance. And problem gambling and consequences with gambling is on the rise for students and athletes as well.
Well, athletes fall into it, and tell me if I'm wrong, they think they can control the game that they play in some way, shape, or form, and gambling to them is an extension of that control.
It can be. Typically, there's a lack of awareness about that. You know, when you start to gamble, it's not it's not something that most people are aware could have a pitfall, or could be something that could hold major consequences. Competitors, they like to win. Competitors hate to lose. There's dynamics of gambling in the beginning stages of gambling where you will chase your losses. You'll strategize, just like you do as an athlete, oftentimes with a competitor when you lose.
Now, we want to be clear, we don't have time to tell Lesa's whole story here, but we're going to do a couple segments that you'll be able to view online, so bear with us. We'll finish up this interview, and then you can go to PressBoxOnline.com to see more. Tell us one thing. Is there a finish line for gambling addiction or any of the addictions that Mike Gimbel deals with here?
I don't believe that there's ever a finish line. Recovery, which is something that takes a lot of courage, takes a lot of dedication, it takes a lot of understanding, is a continuous effort for anyone who is dealing with addiction and trying to recover from it. There are a lot of barriers. There are a lot of barriers with gambling. It's not as sociably, I think, understood. I don't think it's as sociably accepted. Not that any addiction actually is. There are a lot of stigmas. Gambling addiction is considered pretty insidious. The behaviors that we have in that addiction are very destructive to society, to ourselves, to our families, to our peers. And I think that it's just a constant, it's a constant journey to continue the process. And for me, it's a matter of not letting this really define me, but inspire me to try to make a difference with these kids here today.
All right. Lesa Densmore, we thank her for coming on and talking so candidly about a problem, her gambling addiction. She's been here at Powered by Me, and we will have more on PressBox Online. So just click on that website, and you can see our interviews with Lesa Densmore. And again, you can see more with Lesa Densmore right now at PressBoxOnline.com. Just click the video tab at the top of the page. Listen, don't go away. Up next after the break, I'll be joined by Jen Adams, also a driven female athlete, now head coach of the 2012 Big East champion Lady Greyhounds, who face off this Sunday at home against Penn in round 1 of the NCAA tournament. Stay with us.